back to Misfit HQ. Drew and Hunter here with a very special announcement. The Misfit Volume Cycle is back on the site. What does that mean? That means 15 squat sessions, 15 heavy, higher rep squat sessions over the course of 5 weeks. We want to make sure that we put out this video where we talk about the warm-up and some points of performance and the cool down to make sure that you can survive all of that. This program took 4 or 5 years of development and tweaking and testing to get it at where it is today. And we're always really excited when it shows up on the site. So very first thing that we're going to talk about is that warm up. Going into the session, obviously being warm and being ready to tackle the reps is really important. But then as you get into the meat of the cycle itself, it can be really challenging if you don't warm up properly when you're sort of feeling that fatigue from the session that you've just had. So when we're doing the warm up, we're thinking about going over to a machine and getting some real good blood flow in the legs. Hop on the assault bike, C2 bike if you don't have one of those. You can go for a little jog, but we want that sweat check. We want you on that machine or jogging for that, sort of 5 to 10 minute range, really start to get loose. Then we're gonna work into some glute activation drills. We've got plenty of videos on this, but you grab the band, you throw it around the knees, and you're really sort of working through to make sure that you're good to go there. Then we move over to the barbell here. Do not be shy with your rep ranges with this. You can knock out sets at 10, sets at 8, sets at 6. As you climb up through the weight, you should feel really, really good about your squat before you start to add weight and get into your working sets. Now, number 2, really important here, is that we have skill transfer within the squat. If Hunter was to squat right now and his butt is touching the wall over there and his forehead is touching the wall over there, congratulations, you can be in a powerlifting meet, but that skill transfer to the squat clean, to the squat snatch is not going to be there. So we need to move for all 15 sessions like we would in the Olympic lifts, or as close to that as we can. So what Hunter's going to do, he's going to take the bar out of the rack real quick. He is going to get into his squat stance, a stance that he is sure that he could clean or snatch in when he's in that catch position. And I'm just going to have him go down to the bottom of the squat here. If you want a nice test for where you're at with your squat and whether there is skill transfer, we want big toe in contact with the ground, heel in contact, knees trace out, nice and upright with that torso. As he drives back up, this becomes even more important. He wants that feedback. You can warm up with that band around your knees to really get that. But what happens with a lot of CrossFitters is they're down in the bottom in this position here, and they only have that posterior chain. So when they start, exactly, they go back. Now, if we envision him in that position he was just in with a front rack of the barbell overhead, it's probably not going to happen, right? His arms are going to snap off, or the barbell is going to fall back down to the ground. So go ahead and put it in the rack. This is the type of thing that you can really develop over the course of 15 sessions. And if your, sort of powerlifting style low bar back squat gets you a certain 1 rep max, when you are testing for this, make sure that you are actually going for a squat that you can do when you get into the phase itself. Now, last but not least, we got to talk about the cool down. You need to make sure that you use the fact that your tissues are warm, that you're, really kind of feeling strong at the end of this session to go into some mobility and cool down afterwards. So when you get done, you're really thinking about ankle mobility, making sure everything's healthy with your knees, making sure that your hips are there. We're going to get into some, SugarWOD poses and get that posterior chain sort of loosened up and into the positions that you want to be in. We're going to tackle that afterwards. And then we're going to hop back on that bike or go for a walk, and we're really just going to try to let the heart rate settle, let the nervous system settle, and that's going to set you up for that next session. So again, this is a lot of heavy reps over the course of 5 weeks. Make sure you are warming up for every single session. That one that you skip is going to be the one where you tweak your knee, and then the rest of it's going to be really bad. So we're warming up properly. We're thinking about skill transfer, okay? We got to be able to clean. We got to be able to snatch in that squat position that we're doing here. That's what's actually going to make sense if you're a competitive CrossFitter. And then that cool down, making sure that we are doing the mobility once we're warm. We're going through and making sure the tissues are good. We're letting our nervous system know that we're settling things back down before we do anything else, and then you can tackle that. If you are already a Misfit Athletics subscriber, buckle up. You've probably done this before. If you are not, you can head to misfitathletics.com and join us for phase 4, 2 weeks for free. And if you go ahead and like this video right now, it is going to tell YouTube that everybody else should see this and they should get strong as well. Good luck. We'll see you in the next one.